Hey guys, what's up? Good afternoon. We're here riding Kawasaki's 2019 Ninja ZX-6R. This is Kawasaki's middleweight class sport bike. Ninja ZX-6R, even though it's a 600 class, it's actually got a long stroke punched out engine. 636 long stroke engine, so it's got a little bit more torque, a little bit more power, broader spread of usable power, so it makes it a much more enjoyable bike to ride on the street. It's pretty much the same bike as it was in 2013 when they did a change up and went from a more track focused setup to a more street focused setup, and then it worked real good. You know, even at the track this bike works real good, but you know, on the streets really where it's meant to be ridden almost. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, on the track is where it's meant to be ridden, but it's not as racy as some of the other competitors in the class, aka the tuning fork brands, R6 machine. But for 2019, they've done a number of changes to this thing. New upper fairing, new tail section, new LEDs up front, LED tail light in the back, so the bike's going to be it's going to stand out a lot better on the road, especially during the day or even at night. We haven't had a chance to check out the headlights and see how they work after dark, but this thing has twin LEDs up front, so it's gonna illuminate the road really nicely after dark. Other changes include the dash. The dash is updated. It now includes a fuel meter here and some MPG information here too, so that's a nice change. The tachometer needle too, also that white there actually changes colors, signifying that it's time to shift, and you can actually adjust the shift indicator on that thing in 250 RPM increments, so pretty neat. We haven't had a chance to play with it. I do look forward to playing with it tomorrow when we're riding this bike at the circuit at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. This Ninja ZX-6R is a nice bike. You know, it's very light, 428 pounds. I think it gained a few pounds for 2019 because Kawasaki had to make this bike Euro 4 compatible so it could be sold in Europe. So that obviously added a little bit of weight with the exhaust and whatnot. So a couple more pounds, but you really don't feel the difference. You don't really feel it. It's a very light motorcycle, very, very agile. The balance of it's really good. You could tell when I was wheeling it today, like it's got a really favorable balance point. If you guys are out there that like to do big, you know, second gear power wheelies, you're gonna like doing them on this bike. Works real good. Suspension carries over from Showa, single function, big piston fork up front. We got preload handled here, damping responsibilities handled in this right leg. Obviously we have independent compression and rebound, dampening adjustment right here, and then preload adjustment right there. The suspension's a little bit more squishy, a little bit more soft. It's still well dampened, but it's a little bit more squishy, but honestly that works really good on the street. We haven't really encountered any significantly bumpy surfaces today, but based on my time with this thing in the past, this bike does really good on bumpy roads. Suspension is real plush, which is nice, what you want on a street bike. Working through the gearbox, 6-speed transmission carries over, but now this thing comes stock with a electronic quick shifter. And quick shifters are just awesome. It just makes life so much easier. You get to go just wide open, full throttle, and upshift like that. It's great. Would have been cool if they would have put auto blip on the down, but you know, maybe next time. Another important performance change, small change, but nevertheless important, is they actually put a smaller front tooth sprocket on this bike. So it's one tooth smaller front sprocket, and what that does is it just gives the motorcycle more acceleration, so the bike accelerates out of the hole quicker. But your top speed's going to be a little bit lower, and it's gonna carry a little bit higher RPMs in top gear at 60 miles per hour. I can't remember what the old bike revved at 60 miles per hour, 65. Right now we're a tad above 6, which still isn't bad. Alright, let's do some ripping, guys. Who wants to rip? This motorcycle also comes outfitted with Bridgestone's new Batlax S22 tire. S22. Originally, when we wrote the report, I thought the S22 was a typo, but apparently Bridgestone's actually engineered an evolution of this Batlax S21 it unveiled in 2016. So basically, this tire has got a little bit more aggressive compounding, and it also is designed for even better performance in the wet. So a little bit more water evacuation, a little bit more silica, which is basically sand, in the center of the tire to get that grip in the cold and in the wet. You know, the Batlax S21 certainly wasn't lacking those two things. So it's neat that Bridgestone, you know, continues to elevate the bar only a couple years after unveiling the Batlax S21. And now this S22 comes stock on this Kawasaki Ninja ZX-6R for 2019. Bridgestone said they're going to, because of the increased grip, it's going to come with a little bit less durability, slight reduction in durability, but I'll take it. All right, guys, let's do a big fat wheelie. Who wants to see a big fat wheelie? I do. I love doing stand-up wheelies on this bike. It works so good. I shouldn't have shifted into third. I was trying to shift into third and carry it, and that kind of killed my drive. Oh well. So for a small upcharge, your bike can have ABS, and that just prevents any instability when you're using the front brakes or rear brake. It prevents any lockup like that. No problems. I would prefer to get the non-ABS model because I like to do endos and slide and that kind of stuff, and I really like to have brake control, so I would opt for the non-ABS version. But it's cool that Kawasaki offers an ABS version for just a couple $100 more than the standard. Speaking of price, I mean, this thing's an incredible value. $10,000, $9,999 for the non-ABS version. I think when Kawasaki debuted the 2013 ZX-6R, it was around low 11s, so it's over $1,000 less than it was 6 years ago, which is pretty impressive. You get a lot of, you know, middleweight 600 supersport performance for less than 10 grand. That's pretty neat. And God, this engine just rips. Do you hear the sound of it? It sounds so good. That extra stroke, that extra piston stroke of the engine, it just gives you a broader spread of power. Typical 600cc class engines, you really got to have a long, you know, north of 12,000 RPM for them to go anywhere. But with that extra stroke, the bike has a lot more mid-range power, you know, as low as, you know, 7,000 RPM, and pulls like this. Pulls. You don't have to downshift a bunch of gears to start ripping. Ergonomics are basically the same. Kawasaki changed the seat a little bit, and they actually made the seat a little bit shorter from front to back, which isn't so good for me because I'm a tall guy. So I think I actually like the old seat better. There's a little bit less room in the cockpit. It's not terrible, but there's definitely a little bit less room. We've got electronics on this motorcycle, 2 power modes, full power, low power. We're riding full power mode, but low power mode's nice if you're riding, you know, if you're letting a friend ride your bike and they're new to riding and they don't want the all 115 ponies at their right wrist here. Kawasaki traction control. Kawasaki is one of the first manufacturers to outfit their super sport with traction control, and that system carries over. It's about around 6 years old now, that system, and you know, we haven't really ridden hard enough here on the street to really necessitate traction control. Tomorrow at the track it'll be nice to have, but you know, to be honest with you, the system, the TC system on this bike is a little bit old. It's certainly not bad or not adept at what it does, but it's old. You know, in this day and age of, you know, new software every couple months, it would have been nice if Kawasaki would have, you know, updated the TC a little bit and got it, you know, a little bit more contemporary. There's some really fantastic wheel spin control setups from, you know, BMW, Aprilia, Yamaha. So it'd be good if Kawasaki maybe gave the electronics a little bit more love. Not that they're bad, but a little update wouldn't be a bad thing. But to be fair, You have to remember, this is a 636cc engine, and it accelerates good, has good power, but they're still not that powerful. You almost don't even need traction control on a small bike like this, just because they don't really have enough power to really work that tire. Not saying that they don't work the tire, but you know, when you have a 1000cc engine with all that torque, you want to have traction control. But these things can kind of get away without it. We've been spending most of the day with traction control off. That allows us to pop nice long wheelies. Well, that's a wrap from our quick Kawasaki Ninja ZX-6R street ride. Tomorrow we're going to spend the day at the track. We're also going to be riding on Bridgestone's new super racy Batlax R11 tire. I love that tire. Really excited for tomorrow. But please make sure to subscribe to our channel. You're going to see more of these videos here. You know, leave us a comment. Let us know if you like these videos. What do you guys want to see next? And we'll see you next time, guys.